were somehow laid on top of each other. We're going to work on that audio and come back to it.
But of course, Gerard Fryer from Hawaii.Tsunami.warning Center saying again that initially it didn't seem so big, but later when they got more information from the seafloor gauges, they knew it was a lot bigger than expected. Talking about the tsunami here, so they went straight into a warning.
Right. If we could go back to the map of the region where the earthquakes happened, there's something we could talk about based on history. You know, in the absence of new information based on those buoys from the Tsunami Warning Center, we could look at the past. I mentioned earlier that earthquakes in Alaska and Aleutian Islands have been damaging in Hilo. The one that, of course, comes to mind is the 1946 earthquake. It was one of the worst ever at the time in the world. From the Aleutian Islands, which is that chain of islands, just like a tail of Alaska above there, and it's not all that far on the map from the islands in Canada where tonight's tsunami is originating from. But there are a couple of differences to keep in mind here. That Aleutian Islands earthquake, which killed 159 people in Hawaii, most of them in Hilo, it washed over the breakwall. It was an awful tragedy there. That earthquake was a magnitude 8.6. Tonight's quake is 7.7. And although that's less than a point off, that's a huge difference in terms of earthquakes. And I know Guy could talk more about
Guy,
this.
can you talk more about that?
But yeah, sure.
Right, it's exponential, Guy.
It's exponential. It looks like only 1 point when you talk about it. A 7 as opposed to an 8, you think you're splitting hairs. But really, that's a huge difference. And most of those quakes that were very, very devastating to us here in Hawaii have been upwards of 8. The one down in Chile, the one down in Chile that we were tracking a couple of years ago, that one was an 8. Luckily, because of the direction of the wave coming off the quake, we kind of dodged a bullet on that one, although it actually went past us and hit Japan pretty well. So these are, again, the dark buoys that keep track of the ring of fire. There is volcanic activity all along this area, and that's why these buoys are the first indicators of a tsunami wave being generated. So we're talking right off of this coast here, and then these dark buoys were bouncing around. So we're just waiting for the energy to come here now.
And show us the Aleutian Islands on that map.
The Aleutian Islands are right here, Kiahi. All of that. So you see how important these Aleutian Islands are in terms of tsunami generation. Look how many buoys are just along the Aleutians. Lots of volcanic activity in and around this area, as well as the rest of the Pacific as well. Us sitting right in the middle, we kind of got to really be aware of all of the activity, whether it's coming as far south as someplace like New Zealand or anywhere near and around South America up into Central America, and now we know off the coast of North America as well.
Thank you for that information, Guy. And check this out. This is a live look at Alawai and Kaneakapolei. This is in Waikiki. Everybody got the warning, and they are all trying to head to higher ground.
Of course, this is right about in the middle of Waikiki, so either these people are going into the city to have a good night or trying to get out, but they've got to make it all the way to the end of the Alawai there before they can get on the Makali or Kapiolani and get out of town.
And that's why in that area, Ala Moana, Waikiki, Lahaina, Kaanapali, we're talking about vertical evacuation. Howard talked about it. If you can get above 4 feet,